We're going to look at example 4 in your section 4.6 notes. In this example, before we get started, we're going to use the definition of differential, which I've written down here, that a small change in y, or you could write this as dy, is approximated by the derivative of the function of x times a very small change in x, okay? So in this situation, we are going to approximate the change in the volume, so I use v instead of y, of a right circular cone of fixed height 4 when its radius increases from 3 meters to 3.05 meters. So I'm going to be looking at the derivative with the radius, okay, and we definitely have a small change in the radius. Okay, so replacing the x as follows here. So to get to our goal, which is to figure out the change in volume, we need to compute the change in the radius and then the volume, the derivative of the volume with respect to r. So this part is probably the easiest to do because, like we said, this is just looking at the change in r. And that's just a little subtraction issue. So 3.05 minus 3, we see that the change in radius is 0.05 meters. So that part's done. Okay, now to do the derivative of the volume with respect to r, we first need the volume formula. Remember, we have a right circular cone. So we're dealing with 1/3 pi r squared and h. We need to take the derivative with respect to r, but we have this h here. Well, the good news is it says we have a fixed height, so I can go ahead and plug in a 4 there. Okay, working this out, I've got 4/3, and I have pi r squared. So that's a volume formula that's all about the radius. Okay, so easy to find the derivative now. We'll drop the 2 down, so we're going to get 4 times 2 or 8/3 pi and r. Okay. All right, so let's finish it off. Let's find the change in the volume. Okay, so we're going to write the derivative. So we have 8/3 pi, and then our radius, our starting radius is 3. So we'll plug that in. Okay, and then we want to multiply that by the change in r, so we're going to multiply that by the 0.05. Okay, so you need to put this all in your calculator. You'll get 0.4 when you do with the pi, so pretty easy to see. The 3's will cancel there, and then you really just have the 8 times the 0.05. If you want a approximation for that, you can multiply by pi, and you get about 1.257, and since this is volume, you want meters cubed. And that does it for example 4.